An iconic Emmerdale couple have reunited after 6 years, but many fans are disappointed. ITV soap viewers will know that Graham Foster, Andrew Scarborough, was killed off in a whodunit 6 years ago. While his wife at the time, Kim Tate, Claire King, was initially suspected of orchestrating his death, it was actually Marlon Dingle, Mark Charnock, who was wrongly imprisoned for the crime. While his wife at the time, Kim Tate, Claire King, was initially suspected of orchestrating his death, it was actually Marlon Dingle, Mark Charnock, who was wrongly imprisoned for the crime. Emmerdale fans were therefore stunned to see Graham return to the village during the Reunite crossover in January. In a flashback scene, Graham went to visit his ex, Rona Goskirk, Zoe Henry, revealing that he had faked his death and ultimately came back to help April Windsor, Amelia Flanagan, escape from villain Ray Walters, Joe Absalom. Graham then went to visit Kim and his former right-hand man Joe Tate, Ned Porteous, at Home Farm. After some initial pushback, Joe eventually welcomed Graham back into his life and let him move into a spare room at Home Farm, much to Kim's frustration. The residents of Home Farm have recently had a lot to celebrate after Moira Dingle, Natalie J. Robb, reluctantly signed away her shares of Butler's farm to Kim this week. This move has created a lot of tension amongst the Dingle family after Robert Sugden, Ryan Hawley, agreed to become a tenant farmer. During Thursday's, March 12th, episode, which is now available to stream on ITVX, Lydia Dingle, Karen Blick, told Kim that she had spotted Graham speaking to Rona the day before, with Kim quickly saying that it didn't bother her. Graham then approached Rona and asked her to meet him later, or he'll keep his distance for good, leaving Rona with a big decision to make. Later, a nervous Graham waited for his ex on the footbridge, but was unaware that Rona had been delayed after her daughter, Ivy Malcolms, Margot Rose Daly, fell over at nursery. After getting Vanessa Woodfield, Michelle Hardwick, to babysit, Rona quickly rushed out to meet Graham, but was too late. Graham had already returned to Home Farm, and unexpectedly made a move on Kim. "I'd forgotten just how beautiful you are when you're angry, and right now you look irresistibly furious. Almost as furious as you were that first night we crossed the line, and went from strictly business to something more," Graham said. "Fate has brought me back into your life for a reason. After so long apart, just seeing you again has brought it all back. We know better than anyone, life's brutal and short. What's the harm in seizing the day, grabbing a moment of hope while we still can?" He added, "You've wanted me, and I've wanted you. We're two halves of the same soul, you and I." Graham and Kim then shared a passionate kiss in the hallway. The exes soon made their way upstairs, shortly before the camera panned down to Graham's phone, revealing that Rona was trying to make contact with him. Soap fans will know that Kim and Graham had an iconic but tense marriage that culminated in Kim ordering the murder of her husband in 2020. ITV viewers were therefore shocked at the couple's reunion, with many sharing their frustration online. "Big mistake, Graham," one person wrote on a Facebook fan page, with another adding, "I'm so disappointed." A third said, "I'm disappointed in Graham when his heart is clearly with Rona," with another viewer similarly sharing, "I really believed Graham wanted Rona. I'm sad now he's gone off with Kim. Will Graham and Kim make things work? And what will Rona do when she finds out? We'll have to wait and see." For years, the residents of the quiet Yorkshire village in Emmerdale have experienced their fair share of secrets, betrayals, and shocking twists. But even by the soap's famously dramatic standards, the latest storyline has left fans reeling. An iconic couple from the past has reunited after 6 long years apart. Yet instead of cheering, many viewers are voicing frustration and heartbreak. The couple in question? The complicated and controversial pair of Graham Foster and Kim Tate. Their reunion has reopened old wounds across the village, and perhaps nowhere more painfully than for Rona Goskirk. A death that shook the village. 6 years ago, the shocking death of Graham Foster sent ripples through the village community. At the time, Graham was known as the loyal right-hand man to the powerful Kim Tate, and their relationship had evolved from business partners into something far more personal and dangerous. When Graham was found dead in what appeared to be a brutal murder, suspicion immediately fell on Kim. After all, the pair had shared a turbulent relationship filled with betrayal, manipulation, and explosive confrontations. But the real shock came when the blame ultimately fell on another villager, Marlon Dingle. Marlon was wrongly imprisoned for the crime, leaving the village divided and heartbroken as friends and family struggled to process the injustice. For years, it seemed as though Graham's story had reached its tragic end. But in true soap fashion, things were not as they seemed. A return no one expected. Earlier this year, during the dramatic Reunite crossover, fans were stunned when Graham Foster suddenly reappeared. His return was revealed in a tense flashback sequence that changed everything viewers thought they knew. Rather than dying years earlier, Graham had faked his death. The revelation was explosive. According to the storyline, Graham had staged his disappearance in order to escape powerful enemies and secretly protect someone close to him. When he finally resurfaced, it was for a mission that would bring him straight back into the heart of the village drama. A dangerous rescue mission. Graham's return wasn't just about unfinished business. It was about saving a life. He had secretly come back to help April Windsor, who had become trapped in a terrifying situation involving villain Ray Walters. Ray had been manipulating and threatening those around him, creating chaos throughout the village. Graham's reappearance helped orchestrate April's escape, proving that despite everything, he still possessed the courage and cunning that once made him such a formidable presence. But once his secret was revealed, there was no turning back. Soon enough, Graham found himself face to face with the people he had left behind. Returning to Home Farm. Perhaps the most complicated reunion awaited Graham at the gates of Home Farm. Home Farm had always been the center of power in the village, and the domain of Kim Tate. When Graham arrived, tensions were immediate. Kim was furious that the man she believed dead had suddenly returned without warning. Their history was complicated, filled with passion and betrayal. Yet their connection was undeniable. Also living at Home Farm was Kim's associate Joe Tate, who initially reacted with suspicion. But after a tense confrontation, Joe ultimately decided to let Graham stay. He offered him a spare room in the mansion, a decision that only deepened Kim's frustration. Trouble brewing among the Dingles. Meanwhile, drama elsewhere in the village was reaching a boiling point. Recently, Moira Dingle made a reluctant decision that shocked the entire community. Under immense pressure, she signed away her shares of Butler's farm to Kim Tate. The move immediately created friction among the powerful Dingle family. Adding to the tension, Robert Sugden stepped forward to become a tenant farmer. The arrangement was controversial. Many villagers feared Kim's growing influence over the farmland and local businesses. And with Graham now living at Home Farm again, old power dynamics were shifting rapidly. A secret meeting. The emotional heart of the storyline unfolded during Thursday's episode, released early on ITVX. The drama began quietly. Lydia Dingle approached Kim with surprising news. She had seen Graham speaking with Rona the previous day. Kim brushed it off, insisting she didn't care. But it was clear the revelation had unsettled her. Soon afterward, Graham approached Rona directly. Their conversation was filled with unresolved emotion. He asked her to meet him later that evening. "If you don't come," he told her quietly, "I'll stay away for good." The decision weighed heavily on Rona. A race against time. That evening, Graham waited anxiously on the village footbridge. The air was cold and still as he stared down the road, hoping to see Rona approaching. But she never came. Unbeknownst to him, Rona had been delayed after her daughter Ivy Malcolms fell over at nursery. The unexpected accident meant Rona had to rush to comfort her child before leaving again. Eventually, she arranged for Vanessa Woodfield to babysit. Then she hurried out into the night, desperate to reach the meeting point. But by the time she arrived, Graham had already gone. A moment that changed everything. Back at Home Farm, emotions were running high. Graham confronted Kim in the hallway. Their conversation quickly turned from tense to deeply personal. "I'd forgotten just how beautiful you are when you're angry," Graham told her softly. His words caught Kim off guard. For a moment, the years between them seemed to vanish. Graham continued, his voice full of nostalgia. "Fate has brought me back into your life for a reason. After so long apart, seeing you again has brought everything back." Kim tried to resist, but their chemistry was undeniable. Graham spoke again. "We both know life is brutal and short," he said. "What's the harm in seizing the day?" Then he added something that seemed to break down the last of Kim's defenses. "You've wanted me, and I've wanted you. We're two halves of the same soul." Passion ignites once more. In that charged moment, the pair gave in to their emotions. Kim and Graham shared a passionate kiss. The kiss quickly escalated into something deeper. Soon they were heading upstairs together, reigniting the complicated romance that had once dominated the village. But the camera revealed one heartbreaking detail. Graham's phone lay abandoned on a nearby table. And on its screen, several missed calls from Rona appeared. She had tried to reach him, but it was already too late. Fans react with shock. The reunion between Kim and Graham sparked immediate reactions from fans. Many viewers had hoped Graham would reunite with Rona instead. On social media, disappointment spread quickly. One fan wrote, "Big mistake, Graham." Another commented, "I'm so disappointed. His heart clearly belongs to Rona." Others expressed sadness that the storyline had taken such a dramatic turn. "I really believed he loved Rona," one viewer posted. "Now I feel heartbroken watching this." A love triangle emerges. With Graham now entangled once again with Kim Tate, the emotional fallout promises to be enormous. Rona's feelings for Graham have never truly disappeared, but she has always struggled to trust him. Now, when she discovers what happened at home farm, the consequences could be devastating. Will she walk away from Graham forever? Or will she fight for the love she believed they shared? What happens next? As the storyline continues to unfold in Emmerdale, fans are left with more questions than answers. Will Graham and Kim truly rekindle their turbulent relationship? Can Rona forgive Graham after learning the truth? And how will the rest of the village react once the secret is revealed? In a place where loyalties shift as quickly as the Yorkshire weather, one thing is certain. The drama at home farm is far from over. And for viewers watching at home, the emotional roller coaster has only just begun.